Hello there, music maker. If you're anything like me, we want to embrace the opportunity with the new year and set some really good mandolin and guitar goals for 2022. And we did ask our community, do you got a new year resolution for your music? We got a ton of really good answers, like trying to learn double stops, play the mandolin every day, play the guitar every day, and what was more there? Trying to be a better improviser, things like that. And I think it's a very good thing now with a fresh start of the year to set some goals. But here's also a fact. I read somewhere that 90% of all New Year resolutions fail. It's not completed. I don't want that to happen to you. That's why I, in this video, gonna share some tips for how you can create some goals that you will be much more higher a possibility to kind of reach. Hey, one of my goals for 2021 was to get a new studio space, and guess what? I got one. Come here and we can check it out. By the way, you can actually come here on this upcoming Saturday because I'm hosting a free webinar at that point. And if cross-picking is one of the things that you want to get into your playing, you should really come here because we got a webinar all dedicated for cross-picking. And what I love this technique is we can use it to spice up our melody playing, our rhythm playing. We can even use it to make solo arrangement of nice pieces. Let's enter the studio. Oh, there we got it. Cross-picking this coming Saturday, the 29th. Here's the studio space. And in here I got basically everything I need. I got my instruments, I got my computer, I got my camera, got my microphone, my metronome, and of course I also got my plant and some quality pearl art from my son. Looks like a quite nice mandolin spot, doesn't it? And to be honest, this is only the half of the studio space. I got another room inside there, but I'll keep it for another video. But it's in here that we're gonna meet this upcoming Saturday. It's the 29th. Hope to see you there if you want to spice up your cross-picking playing. Now back to the video. My name is Mandolin, and if you're new here at the channel, make sure you subscribe because I have new videos like this coming out every week. Also hit that bell notification button, you will get notified as soon as we publish a new video. In Mandolin Secrets Academy, you can find some useful worksheets for this exercise, and if I were you, I would make sure that I'm not missing out on this opportunity to set some good goals for this year. My New Year resolution sounds like this. I'm going to do a body scan with my instrument at hand once a day during the entire 2022. And getting into this habit, I know I have 365 days that will help me to release tension and better, and it will take me to a new level with my mandolin playing. I have studied the art of goal setting, and that's also why I want to share some tips with you, and it's also why we dedicated a whole podcast episode to this topic. And this is not like straight to the point kind of lesson, it's more a discussion with me and my good friend Hayes Griffin. We were talking about this, but I'm pretty sure you will come out with this with a lot of inspiration and some clarity for what you want to achieve this year. And to give you a few more examples here, what comes from the community, I'm also reading here. Learn 5 new Bill Monroe tunes. Nail some jazz standards so I can play them by heart. Study some music theory so that I can understand chord analysis. Learn how to play and strum the chords and play backup to my daughter's favorite songs. Play all major and minor arpeggios with ease over the entire fretboard. If you want more examples, go into our Facebook group and you will find a long thread with lots of answers from the rest of the community with some tips, maybe something you can get inspired by. One basic thing about goal setting that is worth paying attention to is the difference between a habit goal and an achievement goal. For example, trying to learn double stops in my playing, include some cross-picking in my playing, things like that. That is achievement goals. Whereas learn a new tune every week, that is a habit goal, or also this other thing, play the mandolin every day, that is a habit. So slightly different, but I want you to pay attention to, do you got an achievement goal or an habit goal? And also a way to, if you pair these in a good way, that can be very efficient. So now let's turn into this podcast episode. And if you want to find more about the podcast and listen to the entire episode, you can go to mandolinsecrets.com/podcast. There you find it. After the podcast episode, I will also leave you with a few more tips that can help you on your way forward. For goal setting, there is this acronym of SMART goals that's been around for a while. Have you heard of SMART goals? I'm not sure if you have, but I'm now going to turn the question to my good buddy Hayes Griffin and see what he got the answer to it. Hayes, have you ever heard of SMART goals?
No, I haven't. Please educate me.
The acronym is like this. SMART stands, it's SMART. S stands for specific, M for measurable, A for action related, R for relevant, and T for time keyed. So a goal has to kind of check all these 5 boxes to be efficient. And I even it sounds a little bit silly, but I'm using a method called smarter goals. So we smarter, and this is a guy called Michael Hyatt who actually developed it. And so instead of only so now we got 2 more letters, E and R, and we're adding, it has to be also exciting and risky. Specific,
like that.
Measurable, actionable, risky, time-keyed, exciting, and relevant. And going back to my example there that I'm placing, do a body scan with my instrument at hand at least once a day during the entire year 2022. So first looking, is it specific? Yes. Very specific.
I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clear what to do, sort of. And taking, listen to this, trying to learn more double stops. Is that specific?
Not so much, right? Like
Not so much. We can actually turn it to a much more specific thing. First of all, we're gonna take away trying to learn, right? But let's come back to it. We'll first break down my goal a little bit, and then we have the measurable. So I'm saying here, I'm going to do it once a day, because things we can measure, we can more easily improve and even track. Mm-hmm. So my goal is actually very easy to track. Am I doing it today? Yes. Okay. Also what I said earlier, this is a habit goal that I'm trying to establish here. Trying to get a new habit into my... Talking about that, I also heard that it's to create a new habit, it has to... There's some research showing that it has to pass, I think it's 67 days. If you want to get into a daily habit, it takes over 3 months to get into it. Or how many months? 2.5 months.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a long. I mean,
Yeah.
if I think about all the goals that I've failed to achieve, like with New Year's resolutions, they never made it past 30. You know what I mean?
No,
That's yeah. So
no.
that's cool. Cool
And,
to
and not
know.
and not even if you continue through January, it's not even a habit yet. So, well, and of course this might differ from different people. It's a bit general here, but it's actually research based. Those things that I'm trying to share here.
Yeah.
I'm continuing. We got SM, and then we got A for actionable. It has to be action related, and so I'm gonna do a body scan. It's something that I'm doing. If we're going back again, trying to learn more double stops. We don't got the action there. What am I gonna do to learn to more double stops? We gotta put that into the goal and the New Year resolution, sort of. Next thing is this relevant thing. Is this relevant for me? And talking about relevancy, for me, it wouldn't be relevant if I said I'm gonna play through all major and minor scales in all positions every day during it. Because here's the thing, I'm having, you also know my situation, I have a very limited practice time. To go for a goal like that would be to set up for failure. Because it's not possible for me to dedicate a daily routine or practice that takes 20 or 30 minutes. Because that might be my whole practice time in a day.
Yeah.
But for me now it's very relevant to get to have this thing that's because I have the feeling that doing the body scan, it will almost improve, and all the music that I've basically is carrying around is gonna better be presented to the world, sort of. So for me that it's not like filling up the cup, it's more making it, how can I bring this out more efficiently, sort of.
Yeah, it's like the goal that you're setting is going to help you channel all of the other musical energy that you have better. I love that.
Exactly.
That's yeah, it's like a holistic kind of goal there. I like that.
Yeah, and to be honest, this I have. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 of these annual goals for my coming year, and I only got this one related to music, actually. Where I am right now, I think. I mean, I have a lot of plans for the Mandolin Secrets, but to it will help me to, if I can complete this goal, I'm gonna be really excited, because that's the thing that's also got to be in this. It's got to be something that feels like if I can do this, it will take me to a new place, sort of. Because setting goals, it's not also what we accomplish, it's who we become if we're going for it. So yeah, exciting is also, check this for this one. And SMAR, the T stands for time keyed, and for my goal, I'm gonna do this once a day for the entire year of 2022. So it's basically 365 days here that I'm aiming for.
Yeah.
And then the last R is also for risky. I'm not sure if my goal is, and that is a way we get to put some risk in there, is to, if I put it like, we gotta challenge ourselves a little bit with our goals, otherwise it's no point,
Yeah. No risk, no reward. Have you heard that before?
I think so. No risk, no reward. And also we got the thing that you and me talked about, Hayes, that reaching for the moon, we
Oh
hit the
yeah,
star.
if you reach for the stars, if you reach for the moon, you'll at least land among the stars. That's right. I almost screwed that up.
Yes, and that I think that's also really relate to this risky thing. One little comment: we actually say it differently in Swedish. There we say if you end up, no, if you're aiming for the stars, you at least end up where the trees stops, sort of.
Oh yeah,
so it's
that's
a little,
cool. I like that.
So I'm not. It's for me. It's very natural that you're also mixing this up because it's
yeah, it's a little.
I'm
different.
doing it all the time. But where was I? Risky, right?
Yeah, risky.
Risky. Yeah. So if I would say pick up my mandolin and play it every day during the entire year, that wouldn't push me at all.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I'm naturally doing. I already have that habit. Someone said, like, play the instruments every day. I think it's a brilliant thing to aim for. But for me, that wouldn't be risky. So I want to make it... I want to put something that actually puts me to the next level, sort of. Mm-hmm. That's where the risky part come in. So we got all actually 7 check boxes done for my little goal there. I'm reading it once more. Do a body scan with my instrument at hand at least once a day during the entire year 2022. And to be honest, where are we now? January 12th. So far, so good. I'm feeling the benefits of it. We'll see where I'm ending, but so far this goal and this resolution really serves me.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. I love that process, and I think that's once again, if I reflect on some of the kind of failed New Year's resolutions that I've had in the past, they only checked maybe like half of those boxes that you were talking about there, like the smarter kind of goals.
Yeah.
And I really like that you added exciting to it, because I think that's one thing too that's going to keep people listening to this invested in their goal. Like if it's not something that you're excited about, then it's going to feel like work. It's going to feel like a drag to accomplish the goal, right? So that's really cool, man. I think that's some really good advice.
Yeah, and I think that is also one way to feel excitement of the, because we can't only be like intellectually involved into it. We gotta put some emotional touch to it and spiritual sort of. And going back to, I mean, that play the mandolin. We had that example of play the mandolin every day. That could actually go straight into it and to my framework, sort of play the mandolin at least once a day during the entire year 2022. And to make it even more specific, we could also say play the mandolin for at least 5 minutes during the entire year of 2022, or something like that, because we can play around with it, and it will suit different people differently, but that's maybe one thing to add to it.
Yeah, because like that adds that like measurable kind of quality to it, right?
Exactly.
So
measurable.
Then every day, did I do 5 minutes? Yes or no? You know what I mean?
Yes or no?
Yeah. And if you leave it general, where you're not like putting a time cap on it, then it's kind of like, well, okay, I strummed a chord on my mandolin today. Like, does that count as playing the mandolin? Well,
exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
And if that counts, then it's like play my mandolin if it's only a strum at least once a day during the entire year 2020. We gotta to make it specific like that. It's as you pointed out, then we're checking the measurable thing off here.
I love that. Yeah, this is I feel like my 2022 is going to be really good because of this episode right here. I like it.
Yes, and So going back to this one, trying to learn more double stops. If I would about to develop, if I want to, it's obvious the person who wrote it wants to get double stops into their mandolin playing. First off, this is an achievement goal. To make it more specific, it could be something like know how to use double stop in my mandolin playing by March 13th, sort of.
Yeah.
Then we're adding the time key to it, but again, it's very hard to measure this thing.
Yes.
I mean, I would have to think about it, how to include it, but maybe even find. Okay, I know a tune that I play using some double stops. That is Tombstone Junction.
Yeah.
Playing using double stops in the B part. So it could be. Now it's more specific. I'm going to play Tombstone Junction at 120 beats per minute, including the double stops, by March 30th. So then now it's specific what we were gonna learn. It's actually, we can put a tempo to it, so it's measurable, and it's time keyed. It's not. If I can do this at March 30th, we can check it off, sort of.
Yeah.
And again, it's got to feel exciting, risky, and all that. But if you can be specific like that, you're way more. What is? It's more possible. No, that's not the word.
Yeah, it's more. You're more likely that you're going to achieve that goal, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
And I love I think even on that goal that you just mentioned there too, like when we added some of those, like March 30th, you know, like we're gonna do this goal by then. That adds, in my opinion, the excitement and the risk to it right there, because you're giving yourself 3 months of time.
Yeah.
To complete the goal, but you're not. I feel like if you take these goals, like you were kind of alluding to, and you push it all the way to the end of the year, like if you leave it wide open to complete the goal throughout the whole year, you're going to be like I was in school and wait until the very last minute to try and accomplish the goal, and then you're going to get frustrated and it's going to fail and all this kind of stuff. But if you set that close time, right, like March 30th, then that adds some excitement to it, because you have to do it in 3 months, you know.
And if you're putting it, because this will be forgotten when we come to the summer if you're not taking action on it now. Because then this is a little bit like the next thing. When you can first is like creating the goal using this framework of the smarter. Then it's also, of course, we have to break it down. What is the next step for me to go to this goal? And for this example of the double stops, it would be listen. The first step that I'm going to start to do today is listen to Bill Monroe playing this song. Mm-hmm. Or go to Mandolin Secrets Academy if you feel like us.
Yeah, exactly. Shameless self-promotion.
But I mean, so we gotta also, like, what is the next step towards these goals? Because all like risky goals, we have to take it like one step after each other, sort of.
Yeah, no, and I love this quote that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. You know, I think that's because it's like if you have a lofty goal, it can seem overwhelming, right? But the way to do it is just like put one foot in front of the other, like you said. Take that first step, right?
Yeah, and if this person actually can check off this goal by March 13th, well, guess what? There's another tune using double stops that you can go straight into after that. So breaking it down sort of. I feel we could spend the whole. I don't want to get stuck in this, but I hope I actually at least shared some ideas about this to people.
Yeah, I think that anyone listening to this is going to have, because you laid out the whole system. Seriously, if you write that acronym down on paper and apply that to kind of any goal that you have this year, I'm convinced you've convinced me that you can achieve your goals that way. I'm really excited about that.
Yes, and if someone is interested to learn more about it, I'm talking about the author and coach called Michael Hyatt. And he made a book called Your Best Year Ever. And in that book, he also describes this 5-step plan for achieving your most important goals. So check that out, because it's really, really good one. I can see, we'll try to put a link to it in the description below.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see people are also commenting here. I like the idea of specific goals. I would actually... This is something that I would love to coach people on some of the calls within Mandolin Secrets Academy. We can, if people want to bring their goals, we can talk about it, and we can help them create like a little, like a specific goal, and also like some action steps for how to get there.
Yeah, I mean, if nobody else in the community takes you up on that offer, I know I will.
Okay.
Get some private coaching with Magnus here. I like it.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and if you want to listen to the entire show, you know where to find it. mandolinsecrets.com/podcast. A few more tips here. My first tip: write down your goals. Research show that a written goal is way more likely to be completed. So make sure you write down the goals. That also relates to the second tip I want to give you. You want to keep this visible and check into it at least every quarter or so. Because if you design this goal now, it will be likely that you kind of forget it somehow. But you want to check in with the goals as often as possible. And also, with that said, if you're falling out of a habit, for example, you can step into it at any point. Because here's one thing to remember: a goal is not what we achieve, it's what we become. So there's always a possibility to make room for improvements. And be nice to yourself. That's it, my friend. And as always, hit the thumbs up if you like the video, and we would also be very happy if you leave a comment below letting us know what is your mandolin and guitar goal for 2022. Thank you so much for watching. See you in a new video soon.